Welcome to the Fifth Trooper Podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Fifth Trooper Podcast. My name is Jay Shalansky, and joining me as always is Evan Bulris.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, that was a good one.
Yeah, not bad. So far, that's been my favorite out of the new ones I've tried.
I like it. So this podcast episode is going to be, I don't know, just kind of a smorgasbord of nonsense.
Yeah, we're still trying to recover from Neo, right? We still got a lot of stuff going on.
It's taken forever. Yeah. But little housekeeping. I'm sure if you're listening, you know this by now, but we have finally bit the bullet and put up a Patreon. I guess it's the first time I've talked about it on our podcast. I've been running ads, like 30-second ads in front of the podcast, but I haven't really talked about it. So basically, what's going on is I know we had done like a survey early on in the podcast, and we came up that we were going to do a store, which has been great and people have been buying and it's been wonderful. But then what's happened is the store is kind of, breaking even just about. So it's just kind of paying for itself. But what the other thing that came up is we found out that like a lot of these shows, so like the Novas, the Gen Cons, the Adepticons of the world, these cost money for us to go set up. Generally, we have to pay for internet while we're there.
Yeah.
So, for instance, at Northeast Open, we had to pay for the internet and power there. Those are real things that we have to pay for. And because we're not really at a point as far as our ad revenue goes for like YouTube or anything like that, or even our sponsorship revenue that we get for those live streams, it isn't there to offset our costs. So the thought is, if you enjoy the live streams, if you enjoy these live events, if you want us to put on Northeast Open again, which we are, we are going to need some backing to do that. And that's why we decided to do the Patreon. But in addition, it's not that you're just, donating money to support us. We're actually going to be giving you tons of really cool stuff too. So at certain tiers, you'll get different stuff. But at, the mid tier, every quarter, so every 3 months, we're going to be sending you some really cool things. I don't want to spoil it, but I can guarantee you it'll be worth your money. And then at the high level, not only do you get the quarterly stuff, but we're also going to send you something every year, which is a t-shirt and a playmat. And so right now, we have the Mud and the Salt Planet. I can promise you by the end of the summer, we're going to have more.
Yeah, and those designs are looking good.
Yeah. And so, I'm working on about 6 more designs. We did this survey of people of what they wanted. And so we took what you responded to in that survey, and those are the mats we're going to be making. And we're going to do some other really neat stuff that I don't want to spoil yet. So you're going to get some cool stuff for being part of the Patreon. Not only are you going to get that stuff, but also what we're going to be doing is giving 2 things. There's going to be Patreon specific content, but then also content that we put, like for instance, this week, when I say we, I mean Kyle from Notorious Scoundrels. We moved Kyle's blog all the way to Fifth Trooper. So Never Tell Me the Odds just redirects to the Fifth Trooper. All his articles redirect to the Fifth Trooper. So it's all on Fifth Trooper now, right? Well, many of you know Kyle does the dice and wound simulations. Well, he did ones for clones and droids. And they're up on the Patreon, and we're only for the next week, they'll only be available as like a preview spoiler to our Patreon members.
No, I haven't even got to see him yet. Honestly, I saw the
I haven't even shown Evan.
That's fair. I'm assuming the droids are bad at defending.
Yeah. So that's what you're getting for being part of the Patreon. Plus, you're helping to support us. And for those of you that have already supported, we have gotten a number of supporters already. We very much appreciate it. And I promise it's going to be worth it. And we're going to try to be as open with where that money's going to and how we're spending that money. So
no, it's super appreciated because, we're talking about doing like next month or so, we'll be doing like actual live streams.
Yeah.
And that'll help us get the equipment for that. And then, just candidly, we asked Nova what it would take to get streaming there, and they gave us a number. And after the other Neo, we're like, well, we're kind of good right now.
We're strapped.
Yeah. So it wasn't. We would like to have been there, but this is all coming out of our pockets right now. And I like seeing streams as much as you do. So this isn't anything you do is going to help you, even if it's just like the $1 tier. Like that just helps us get one more $1, just helps us get to the next event, right? So we can stream, because it's like, man, going to Adepticon was kind of crazy, right? Like, so we had to rent the van, pack everything up, drive 14 hours. Like, it was the amount of work that went into that, like behind the scenes, and the money we put into that ourselves was kind of nuts. So
yeah, and so I guess, as a Patreon member, what you're doing is you're helping to support the Fifth Trooper to be in the places and show you the things that you want to see.
Yep.
And so that's kind of what it is for right now. Yep. And as we grow, and if we get more subscribers on YouTube and stuff like that, and we start getting ad revenues, well then, we can decide then how the money looks. But for right now, we absolutely could use your support if you're into it. I get you not wanting to be a Patreon subscriber too. I understand that. That's why we have the store as well. So you can support us that way too. So we just want to give our audience multiple ways to support us and give us opportunity to do more for you in the future.
And if you don't want to support us, but you like the podcast is never going to, like, our podcast, Fifth Trooper, will never become a paywall thing ever. Yeah. So if we do it, this will keep going free. Like, because this is sustainable. Like, right. This is fun. This is
so, like, it's for like the streams, the events, bringing in other podcasts, bringing in more content. Like, it's for that stuff, not what we're doing currently.
No, you'll never be blocked out of a Fifth Trooper podcast.
No, now that doesn't mean we won't do specific podcasts or
special
audio
or something.
That's Patreon only. That could happen, but this podcast will always be free. So that's Patreon. Thank you so much. And at a minimum, if you don't have money, I get that too, and you still want to support us, you know what you can do? Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would help us, because they have, a little peek behind the curtain. You cannot start placing ads or like putting like links on your videos until you hit 1,000 subscribers. So there's two limits. There's a time limit, like how many hours have been watched, which we more than have matched. Yeah. But then the second limit is how many subscribers you have, and the number's 1,000. I think we're at 800 and something now, so we're real close. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube and you want to support us and you don't want to throw money at us, I completely understand that. Yep. Just go subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would do us a huge solid. Like, I mean, we have enough listeners that if you all went up to our YouTube channel today and subscribed, that would absolutely get us over the hump and then some.
Perfect. Easy.
Yeah. So that's that. So let's break into the news.
News from the Week in Legion.
All right, so this week in Legion news, we're actually going to do 2 weeks, because last week we had Derek and Kevin on, so we kind of had a little bit odd of a podcast in a good way. Not, just it was different for us. So the two big announcements from FFG are they announced their grand championships as far as where they are. For it looks like for every big competitive level game that they have.
Yeah, it's more or less any of their flagships, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, most of them are at Nova.
Yep.
I think Adepticon, maybe. I know.
Well, Adepticon's going to be Worlds for Legion.
Worlds.
So we'll start with Legion. So Legion is having, here are the Grand Championships, locations and times. So they will have one in London, England, at the Lee Valley Indoor Athletic Center, September 14th and 15th. That's the London Grand Tournament. They will have one in Germany at the DJH Youth Hostel Düsseldorf, Deutschland, jawohl. That'll be August 15th and 18th. You can get your tickets through Eventbrite, I think. There will be a Grand Championship in Italy, Hotel Castello Centro Artemidide. I butchered that, I'm sure, but that's going to be in Bologna. Italy.
Pelota.
And so that's going to be September 21st and 22nd. There's going to be one in Spain at Las Matas Sports Center, Madrid, Spain, November 1st and 3rd. United States. So Warfare Weekend out in St. Louis, Missouri, November 8th and 10th. We'll have a grand championship. United States again, Nova Open, Washington, D.C. That's August 29th through September 2nd. United States again, Las Vegas Open. That is January 24th through the 26th. And speaking of the Las Vegas Open,
Yeah, they just LJ Pena just posted that they got another 64, I believe.
Yeah.
Spots open, so they're having a second heat.
Yep.
For Legion, they've gotten so many people. I know there's like 100 somebody people on the backlog from the Rayos Nuts. So if you want to go do that, I recommend signing up soon and quickly.
Yeah.
Because the last one went in a couple of hours. This one hasn't been real known yet, so you might be first hearing it here.
Maybe.
Or Facebook. But yeah, it's
Or it could be too late by the time you listen to this.
also that.
Go
But
check
if
it
you
out.
want it, go look meow, right meow.
So that's the Grand Championship Series. The next piece of news that came out, and we're just going to briefly talk about it here, and then we'll go into depth later on in the podcast, but the Tauntauns, they added the card spoilers and everything.
Yeah, everything's spoiled now.
Yep, up on their website. So that's out. And then I believe that's it for news now. It was kind of a slow couple weeks.
Yeah, the big thing this week they mostly did was X-Wing Epic Plays coming, but nothing for Legion, kind of slow.
Yeah, there's been some assumed dates for the next unit releases, and I think it was like the first week of August,
Yeah,
but
August
that's
1st,
it's
I
not
heard.
confirmed. So,
Yeah.
don't listen to us too closely on that. That's just more rumor than news at this point.
Yeah. Agreed.
Okay. Well, that's it for the news. All right. So, I think the rest of this podcast is just going to be Evan and I talking about whatever comes to the old noggin.
Yeah. Real quick before I forget, we haven't forgot about Ground Crew. Things got kind of backburnered a little bit because of the other things we're working on.
Yeah.
So there's still going to be content coming.
Yeah.
But
We're working on it.
Everything, right?
And production value on that's a little bit higher than us just talking. So we're working on it. It's gonna come soon, but not this week. So
yeah, I just didn't want anyone to think we forgot. Mm-hmm. So we played a game. We posted a picture and we played a game.
Yeah, just a short few minutes ago did we finish that game. So let's
When's the last time we actually played a game together?
the tournament.
Like
In
that'd
June?
been the first time. That'd been the first time.
Yeah.
In like months. So as much as we talk about Legion, and we go to all these events and we play, Jay and I are rare. I think the last time before that was at the Rally Point.
Yeah.
We rarely play each other. Like it's kind of like a rare occasion when I was just like, hey, we got time for the podcast today. Let's roll some bones.
For those of you at home, we are planning on starting next month. I'm kind of reorganizing my area for the podcasts and everything, and so we're gonna have a dedicated space for our Legion table here at Mikasa, and so we're gonna hopefully be able to play more, number one, and actually be live streaming it as well, or at the very least recording and publishing it. But I think we'll live stream.
Yeah, expect live streams.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to be able to do one and then answer questions or interact with people while
Heck
we
yeah,
go or something.
yeah, absolutely.
But no, expect that coming because that's the goal, right? Is to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because we posted a couple way back. We posted like one or two way back when.
Yeah, we've done 2 or 3, I think, and then some battle reports, and then so the battle reports, that's a Patreon level. So when we get, I believe we had it at 500 a month. We'll start doing monthly battle reports, and that's not just Evan and I. That's including the scoundrels. So we'll have all kinds of stuff going on with that. And so anyways, so we're going to have opportunity for more video content, but yeah, so this was our first game. So Evan has been tooling with a version of the list that you played today for about 2 months now?
Yeah. So we took the challenge. Jay and I talked offline a while ago, like Pathfinders, are they good or bad? And I talked about, actually, this leads back to my points talk I had a while ago, like, man, they're expensive. And I don't like it.
Yeah.
I still think they're expensive? Yeah, I think they're a little bit higher, like maybe like 10 points. or make their modification free, their configuration free. One of those two things would probably be fine. But my list originally was Jin with, I'm just going to go over the units, not card by card for the most part. Jin, one group of Pathfinders with Bistan.
This was your original list.
Yeah, the land speeder, 2 fleets with captains, and then 3 Z6 squads. Then I flipped it to my current list because I realized I put Jin way out in the middle of nowhere a lot of times because she's good at just going on missions. Go figure. My new one is Han with just environmentals because I hate barricades. I hate having to jump them. So like most of my list is going to have environmentals because it's between that and grappling hooks for me. Not every board you'll go on will even get to use grappling hooks, but environmentals will always be barricades.
Yeah.
So I took that for the extra point. It's from 2 points for I think grappling hooks are 2 points, 2 or 3. Anyway, they're real close. Environmentals are 3. Han with that, speeder with everything, plus the HQ uplink for a clutch turn when you need it. Pathfinders with Bistan.
Hold on, go back. You took grappling hooks?
No, I didn't. I took environmentals instead of grappling hooks.
Yeah.
Because you can always, my thought was you can't control the board.
Yes.
So as a player, what do? You control what you can control. And I said, I don't want to be encumbered. Like, I don't want to go slow over stuff.
That's really good on Jin, too.
Yeah, I had it on her, too. Environmentals are just my new favorite card because it's so cheap. So I took the speeder with everybody, the M3 cannon, not the ion.
Yeah.
And then HQ uplink for a clutch turn if I need it. And then Pathfinders with Bistan, with duck and cover, HQ uplink, environmentals, and the configuration. And I really like that because, man, you can throw dice. If they're range 1 to 3, you throw, like, they're like fleet troopers. Almost, right? Two apiece, 2 apiece, they surge, and plus Bistan's throwing a whole other unit of guys at you. At range 4, you can actually play in that game where normally I was an Imperial only kind of zone. So it's not your preferred way, but man, just give them some suppression. Like, it keeps them thinking because you could just turn on Bistan and just throw another, like, 2 handfuls of dice.
Yeah, no, it definitely creates some problems as far as like deploying and fire lanes and stuff.
Yeah, my new recommendation is, I've played quite a few games with them at this point. Don't always infiltrate. Sometimes infiltrating just means you almost do like a scout 2 up to find that position you want to be.
Yeah.
You infiltrate's that keyword. You want to just throw them out there, right? Like going deep cover to go into mission, but then they just get like Bosque shows up and he's like, "Hey boys, what's up? 8 crits, eat it." So I use infiltrate very sparingly. And then I did Han. Oh, I already said Han, but then Z6 squads with environmentals and the captain. I'm sorry, not Z6. Fleets with environmentals and the captain. I love those 2. Also shotgun for that Pierce. That Pierce 1, clutch. And then 3 Z6s with recon intel.
Yep.
Because that gets them just into barricades sometimes. I'm still tooling with that a little bit. Sometimes some maps I need it. Today was really useful to get me into stuff. I could do, like, if I take those off, I could throw duck and cover on Han, but he gets piled with suppression anyway. But being able to speed her up, drop Han off, Han gets a double shot, and then next turn I can jump him back in if I want to get away, is pretty cool.
Yeah. And so Evan had that list together, and I was between a couple lists, so I'm in a weird place right now. I'd been playing Flyboys for a while to practice. Yeah. And then I got in this debate, let's call it, an inebriated debate with Bushman from or Bushfax from Critical X at Neo one night, and I was saying that it's basically this conversation that we've been having for a while, where I believe that there aren't any invalid units. Even the T-47, I believe, can be used. And so the question is, what is it? Is there actually invalid units, or is it just repetitions and understanding? And my example is always Lupo with the Sabs, right? Like, no one was playing Sabs until we saw Lupo. Yeah. So where the thing came up was, I said, I think Jin and Pathfinders are actually really good. I think everyone misplays them. And so we got in this heated debate, and so I challenged him that I'll take a Jin Pathfinders list against anything he wants to come at me with, and I'll steamroll him. Yeah. We don't know if that's actually going to happen, but it was a fun talk. We're going to play on TTS one of these days. But so I've been in this kind of weird experimental phase of my Legion life. This is like me going to college for Legion. I'm in my experimental phase. So I'm just been making these crazy lists. And so one of the things was at Northeast Open, our buddy Brandon, he made this insane Pelp Bosque Boba Fett list that didn't make any sense, but he was scaring the crap out of people. Yeah. And it was, people were actually going, holy crap, that list actually did some stuff. Yeah. So, I had heard Doug Sploosh talk about it, Doug Crop, and a bunch of other stuff. So I was like, you know what? I really like the thought of Bosque Palpatine, especially with pull the strings and some options there. So I built a list today, and I posted on the Facebook group, and it's Palpatine just with improvised orders. Yep. It's Bosque with Hunter and E-Stims. It's a DLT squad with a medbot. Yep. A DLT squad, 2 snows with flames and impact grenades, and then 3 saboteurs with E-Stims. Yep. And so it was a combination of a couple different things I saw. So the Bosque Palpatine was from our buddy Brandon. The E-Stimmed saboteurs with the medbot was from my game with R1 on Sunday. He just demolished me with those sabs. If you want a play-by-play of that game, it's on our YouTube channel. And also R1 and I were both on Notorious Scoundrels yesterday, and we talked about it in depth. So you can hear us kind of analyze how we played and what happened. So I kind of saw all these different things going on, and I just thought it would be interesting. And so that's the list I brought. Yeah, so we laid down on the mud planet, quote unquote. Beautiful mud map, yeah. And how'd it go, Evan?
It went good, actually. It was a good game. It was real close. At one point, I thought you just had me. Yeah. I made one crazy save, and then it kind of kept me in. But if I had to say, I would say my attack dice were all over the place. Sometimes I'd roll hot, sometimes not. Your defense dice were like choice, though.
Yeah, real good.
They were super choice.
Even the whites on the sabs were ridiculous.
I'm like 2 hits into some sabs. I'm like, I'll get 1. Okay, none. All right, that's fine.
And I wasn't even using the app.
Yeah, I know, right? But no, it was a real close game. Jay ended up pulling it out. I made some mistakes. Definitely, I should have moved some guys a certain way, and then only a couple of shots felt bad. Like most of my shots were pretty good. I felt like, all right, I got a couple hits, get 1 or 2 through. I just started the way I felt a lot better at Legion if I just hope for like 1 or 2. Like you don't look for a wipeout in a shot. You're just like, just get 1 or 2 over cover. Yeah. Just 1 or 2. And that makes it, you throw a Z6 and you get like 3 hits and 1 goes over. You're like, all right, okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was in this, for me, I've been in this kind of really good groove with my double Death Trooper list and then the Flyboys list, where I was in this good patience. I was very patient and methodical with my play, and I was doing well with that. I've noticed because I played the Jin, so I built the Jin Pathfinder list. I put Sabine in it and some other stuff. I'm still tooling with it, so I don't want to give it away yet. But I've played that once against Stevens from the Discord, and then I've played this Palp list once, and I found that I was just too aggressive. I was just too, especially with the saboteurs in our game tonight. Yeah. And it's because I get excited about new units. You know what? I'm like, oh man, I want to see what these guys can do, and then I just put them in dumb positions.
Oh, they had one clutch save that because they should have is a strong word. They were likely to die. As the odds were against them, they survived, and then I got so punished. Yeah, it was insane. 2 bombs, I couldn't do anything about them. This feels bad.
Saboteurs are no joke.
Yeah, they're pretty good. The map, especially so they need line of sight blocking terrain more than anything, any other unit in the game, really. Because there's 2 guys, they're white dice. Yep. They need to hide and throw bombs around. So if you don't have LOS, they can be a feels bad unit. Yep. But when there's stuff for them to hide around, man, they're mean. Because I never understood that. I knew arming was an action. I thought detonating was an action too. So I only ever detonated on a unit's turn. I didn't know it was just whenever you want to. So that's crazy good.
Yeah, and I think Bosque Palpatine is interesting. I think it's good. I just haven't.
It's insane.
The reason I say I think is because you're already 200 and 210 plus 115, so you're already 325 in without any upgrades.
Yeah.
So you're basically almost over a third of your points
Vader
threshold.
And, like if that's a Vader and Krennic or
right.
But no, it's it turns out if Palp has a range 1 to 4 cannon with suppressive that throws a red and 4 white, and he can just pull it every time he activates. Plus Bosque pulling it, so it's like artillery fire that just gets to shoot every turn,
Dude,
like
Bosque
twice a turn.
is so good.
And then if it's Reptilian Rampage, it's 3 shots of that thing. One really bad thing that happened was I had my Pathfinders near the edge. I had a great firing lane. They were perfect. I thought the perfect placement. I couldn't move down the thing.
Yeah.
Bosque shot me twice. I don't think I lost a dude. You had 2 wipeouts. One was just one, and then I didn't roll and panicked and ran off.
Yep, they were just
126
suppressive
points.
shots. Yeah.
So that was like I was like sweating. And when that happens, I'm like, yo, that feels bad. And then I had another unit of just they shot him once and they ran off the board. I couldn't roll suppression to save my life, but Bosque is real good. Like if you're on the fence about bounty hunters, try Bosque because Boba takes some finesse sometimes.
Yep.
And you really rely on those red dice to save you. Bosque, you're expecting to take damage, like whatever.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say this: I've never been good at playing Boba ever. Like, so I just haven't played him in like the last year, basically.
Yeah.
And I actually really like Bosque, and he's good to play, and it's different, and it's a different type of game, but I think it's more my speed.
He's forgiving too.
Yeah, he is.
Like if you take some damage, you might regen. His cards are really good.
Yeah.
His cards affect the battlefield. They feel like they do a little bit more than Boba. Well, Boba will take out a dude with like whipcord or rocket launcher. Bosque can like Reptilian Rampage and maybe take out 2 squads, or lying in wait. You're like 5 crits, here it comes, probably. Even the grenade, the Deoxys grenade is like, like they serve different purposes, but I think Bosque is Boba's a tool you use to do something very specific with, or Bosque can kind of be a more general unit. Like, I'll just shoot at that guy, take 2 suppression. That's always good.
Yeah. I think, like you said, Boba's more like a scalpel and Bosque is more like a hammer.
Yeah, you can kind of like you may not like. There's a couple times where you kind of got a blank out, or I got 2 hits and I had heavy cover. He doesn't have sharpshooter, so I just took the suppression. And inside I'm like, that's fine, but that was the same unit that ran off the board. I'm like, that's 126 points. It just like got on that space train out of here. Yeah, and let's see. So, but I think you're more of an Empire player after playing while playing Rebels. You're much better at playing Empire.
Well, and I think I knew that, and that's why I was like picking up Flyboys, because I was like, okay, I want to become even better at the game, and so the only way to do that is to play. In life, in general, the only way to get better at anything is to get outside of your comfort zone, because that's the only time you learn. And so that's why I'm kind of enjoying this whole experimental phase, because I have my RPQ, so I'm not like hunting for that. And I'm just kind of like, let's see what's going on. And, I think there's a lot coming out, not just, for the Civil War core set, but also with the Clone Wars as well, that I'm kind of waiting for. And so I'm just kind of like playing around right now.
No, sure. Though I still think Jin's not great.
Okay.
I'll give you Pathfinders. I've grown on them, but after a bunch of games with Jin, not quite sold.
Here's my thing with Jin. Specifically with Sabine. She is really, really good.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a heavy investment.
It is, but I'll tell you what, it's worth it. They can put some pain in, and Jin can hold down areas of the board. I think Jin's gun is no joke. And I just think that she's just not played correctly. I think people get way too aggressive with her, and she should be played more like Han, where it's more like, okay, I'm going to kind of hide till turn 3, and then I'm going to come out and make you pay for whatever it is you just did. And then, her 2-pip card there that
trust goes both ways.
Yeah, with teamwork. So
with Sabine,
good, with teamwork, they both have nimble.
Yeah.
So during that turn, you're nimbling. Not only do you do quick thinking, and you get the aim and the dodge.
Yeah.
But then if one of them spends the dodge, they get a new dodge. The other one gets a dodge. So you're you're getting crazy dodge tokens too.
Yeah, I just think for 30 more points, I want Luke.
Yeah, maybe. It just depends. I don't know. I'm still playing with her, and I got to figure it out. But I like it, and I think there's a way that they can win, and I'm still exploring it.
My favorite card of her is Rebellious because you can double shot somebody.
Yeah.
Right. If you go first, you shoot, or you do something, and then you can take another shot at them. I've played I haven't put 10 games. 10 games is my I feel like I can confidently talk about a unit. After 10 games with it, I put in 4. I'm not every time I have her, I'm like, man, I wish I had Han here. So maybe I'm just a gunslinger's good, 2 red's good. She has sharpshooter 1.
Yeah,
white dice Sabine, I don't rely on.
Here's the thing though, Sabine fills that gap with those other units. So Sabine has the dark saber if you want somebody that's gonna go chop stuff. She also has gunslinger, so she kind of she's like a middle ground between Han and Luke.
Yeah. So do you need Jin if you just take Sabine with somebody?
Yeah, I like Jin. I don't know that you need her. No, none of that. I don't think you need anything in this game. I think it's all choice. What I'm saying is I just don't think. I think Jin gets a really bad rap that she doesn't deserve. I think she's way better than people give her credit for.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll keep trying her. I just for Han for 120 and she's 130. I always feel like I get results. But though with Jin, if you get caught against a hero, Han's really bad at killing heroes. Yeah. Terrible. He's just there to kill dudes, right? But she can actually kind of hang a little bit with the baton. Though if you had Palp, I'm like, nobody I got. Jin, Han, nobody. They're Palp kills them, right? Yeah. It's not even a thing. They're just dead if they get hit. So I'm like, what do I? Oh, I misplayed my change of plans on you too. That's my big. I don't know
regret. If you misplayed it. I think
called
you
it
had
one turn too late.
I made you some choice. I made you choose
because I didn't. I'm like, this might be the turn, and then you played grenades. I'm like, crap! That's not what I wanted.
Because I knew that was the turn for the Palp bomb, and so I knew you knew that too, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna play Dioxys.
Yeah, you played the Give Into Your Anger, which is the counter to Sorry About the Mess too. I'm like, geez, I'm getting had here.
Listen, man, I kind of play this game. I know what's up.
All right, easy. Okay, whoa.
I'll stop talking crap once you beat me.
Oh my God.
Boom. Gauntlet thrown.
Yep. Okay. All right. We'll see what happens.
Our next match will be on live stream. Bloodbath.
Yeah. If we need to make another toy mat, that'll be the.
Yeah.
Oh crap! I gotta get your kid some some mats.
We gotta give him some toys back. So anyways, I think I would encourage anyone out there, and I think most of you out there who are listening do this anyways, but I know there's a lot of other sources of media out there for Legion that are all about winning and the math and Notorious Scoundrels. I'm looking at you. But what I would suggest to anyone who listens to this podcast is ignore them for a little bit and just start experimenting and find what feels right to you. Because I know I've talked about this a million times, but I promise just a few more. I had that 12 activation Imperialist that went 3-1 at LVO, and I won a bunch of games with it. It was nothing, but it was still doing well because I was good at it. I understood the list and I could play it well, and that was the difference. And so I think just listening to the guys pontificate about numbers and stuff and then trying to do what they're telling you to do, it's not always going to work because it may not fit your style. So you got to figure out who you are as a player, what's your style of play, and then build a list around that and what makes you comfortable.
Yeah, that's fair. I wish I had more time to play casual games. This past tournament was the first time I really got to play in a month. And you even at all, maybe on a Friday night I might be able to get one in, maybe, but then there's so much other stuff going on. So tonight was the first time I've gotten to play. I'm changing it. Not that I don't know if it's good or not. I'm just kind of trying it out. I put a lot of HQ uplink on stuff, and it would have worked if they didn't just run. It would have went great if they didn't run, but
I would have won if it wasn't for those dang kids.
Those dang lizards, them scaly boys throwing artillery at me. And do you have the grenade pose or the gun pose?
Grenade.
I don't remember.
Grenade.
Yeah, I think I'm building mine as the gun pose. And I want to put little worried eyebrows on him, like he's just like someone handed him the gun. He doesn't know what to do. Like, I don't know. They just gave me the gun. I don't know why I'm here. But no, I need to play more. That's always the thing. Like, I really just got to play more because I go to these events. And I don't really care about winning a store event. Like, it's more for I'm there so everyone else has fun, right? Like, because I gave out most of my prizes of the cards to the new guys because that's the right thing to do. Because I already had one. I only need one, right? So I just want to try stuff out. So I tried Jin out. I wasn't like blown away. I don't know what I was really expecting. But
well, that's all right. Here's my problem that I have with here's my problem I have with you.
Okay, hit
Evan.
Do it.
Well, it's not just you. It's a lot of Legion players.
I'm still in here though. Okay,
but you're still part of it.
Yeah,
is
sure.
that it's sometimes things are a little bit more nuanced than just I'm going to put her on the board and she's going to do good for me.
Well, sure. Like, I didn't just put her on and expected an automatic win.
I think
I just thought I played her the way the card feels like she should be played. And it just wasn't looking like you infiltrate her somewhere. Like I played her.
How many games have you gotten in with her?
4.
I think you can't make a decision unless you have 10.
That's okay. First up, I just said that a minute ago, Captain.
I know. I'm just repeating your words to you because you're full of crap.
Wow, man, my eyes aren't brown; they're green. But I'm still gonna give her some shots. The problem is, I really like my painted Han too. So I was talking about how I got to get him in there. This will be the first time I almost have a full painted army.
Nice.
Like my the one at Adepticon was like I did all that and that was good, but this is one that's all like one that I kind of play. So I'm just trying not to use snipers.
I'll say playing different units like the saboteurs and Bosque and stuff along the lines of painting, like it encourages me to paint them because I get embarrassed when they're not. I know it's silly, right?
Yeah, we're the opposite. I'm like,
it's complete chum bucket full. It's completely ridiculous. But I'm embarrassed if I place units on the board and they're not painted. Like I just hate it. I hate it so much. So when I like the things that were exciting me about playing Jin, Sabine, Pathfinders, I'm like, oh, cool. Now I have a reason to paint them. And then like with the Saboteurs and Bosque today, I'm like, I played them unpainted today because I didn't have time, but because I just came up with the list this morning. But like now I'm going to paint them if I'm going to try. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it makes me paint stuff, which is good because I need that like motivation.
Yeah, because I saw your Pathfinder build.
Yeah.
And I tried it. Because I ran two Pathfinders and Jin, and it was amazing being able to set up in a building that had all these levels. I put one on each building, so as soon as something walked down to Rage 4, it's like 37 dice just flying at you, just white dice. So that was really funny. But I think if you're gonna do it, here's my on the field reporting of Pathfinder so far.
Now my list doesn't have 2 Pathfinders.
No, it just has 1. You just put 1 in there. But again, I'm not spoiling your list, so
don't you do it.
I get enough Smirnoff Ices in me and I'll do whatever I want, Jay, all right? I actually like them with Biston.
Okay.
The leadership off POW is nice, but if you're not going to play them around units, because again, like I feel like they're meant to be put somewhere, like in a corner case, like not way deep where they're going to get shot by everybody, but even like back covering a line.
The
Inspire 1 doesn't feel like it.
I agree with you.
Yeah, and so like if you keep them with your other guys, that could be great, right? But like you're paying for infiltrate, so you want to even if you just use it like a scout 2 and just get them into cover or somewhere, like they're probably alone or more likely to cover a flank or get that firing lane. So I gotta play with them more. Again, like I just wish I had anything in the world if I had more time. If a genie came in to me and he's like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Give me a hyperbolic time chamber from Dragon Ball Z so I can go in there for 4 years." And just do whatever I want to do. Play 100 games.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I gave 100 games with POW, and I come out like a day later or something, and I'm like, everybody, POW's amazing, right? Like I can say that confidently. Like, I have 1,000 games with Pathfinders and POW and Jin, and I can tell you for a fact. But now I'm just like, I get to play maybe 4 games, so I'm I'm everything as we talked before. Like we're all like feels on this podcast. Like this feels good or bad. Biston feels good. Pow didn't. But I got to try Pow more, and maybe I'll keep him with the group. But I talked about it before. My love hate with fleets. I'm thinking about just going all fleets for my cores.
Whoa.
Just getting rid of Z6s.
That's a mistake, I think.
No, Pierce 1, man.
Yeah, but range 2.
Yeah. But like, let's say
right.
you roll 5 hits with a Z6 and they block
Fine.
them all.
For next month's game, for our first live stream, I want you to have all fleets.
Oh God. Okay. I go into our local game store and I'm like, they have one fleet on the shelf. When's the next time you're ordering more fleets?
You can borrow mine.
You can just load them up. I really like them. The more I play them.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying all fleets seems ridiculous.
Oh, I'm
but
crazy.
Let's experiment.
I'm crazy.
Right. I opened this up with experimenting and
now you're
telling
like,
our
yeah,
listeners,
now you're telling
and
me
then
I'm
I
crazy.
chided you for 5 minutes about experimenting. No, you're right. Try it. Let's see what happens.
Because I've seen some people monkey around with all snows and have some success. But man, Pierce, the more I play without it, the more I miss it. That's the thing about snipers. So I've told myself I'm not going to use snipers for a while. It's prisoner's dilemma. I'm not expecting other people not to use snipers. I'm trying to build lists.
I think a lot of people are doing that. I think a lot of people are doing that right now, where they're going, you know what? I'm not going to use snipers. I'm going to try something different.
Because they're just generically good. Like they can touch any unit generally.
Yep.
They are an impactful action on the battlefield. You get 3 of them for like 140 points or something. Right? They're good.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Yeah.
I think Vader's going to make a comeback.
That'd be nice. Maybe with some new dark side powers coming. You see, Vader, like, we talked about games a while ago about not quite hitting that 6-round mark. If every game hit 6 rounds, Vader would be like primo, right? But the first 2 rounds, he's just getting there.
Yeah.
Now, our local Mark plays a mean Vader now, and he just saber throws. He's like over here, back over here, relentless, and like or force choke. Like I forgot how it worked because no one's used it. Like in the competitive high end Legion, no one uses force choke. He's like, I'm gonna force choke your unit, and I'm like, what? So I had to read the card. Like I read the fact. I'm like,
Yeah, you can choose the mini.
yeah, because he just said the group. I'm like, no, choose the heavy. Like it just says mini, kill my Z6, and like punish me for getting too close. Then he just mastered the force to back. I'm like, oh, and I'm like that's not bad. I was like, oh, that's. Dang, okay. So
yeah, I played my game Sunday. I played a Vader list. It's on YouTube if you guys want to check it out. And I liked it. I lost, but it wasn't bad. I think the nice thing was, so he was playing a Krennic list, and he Annihilation Loom turn 1, loaded me with suppression, and then he had Saboteurs, which their bombs are suppressive.
Yeah.
So I literally had like Stormtroopers and Snowtroopers that had 7 or 8 suppression on them, but they weren't running.
Yeah,
Because Vader was like, man, I don't care about suppression.
That's so good. I remember for the longest time when I first started playing the game, I refused not to use Vader.
Yeah.
Because that don't run mechanic was so nice not ever to have to worry about it. Right, he's like a commissar for Imperial Guard, right?
Yeah.
He just shoots you if you run. Man, I'm gonna miss that with CIS, man. The Grievous is only at 2. He's kind of a big baby, so not having him around and the droids just take off, that's gonna be a problem.
Oh, I can't wait for droids.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited for both. The new sets are gonna bring a couple of our new locals in.
Yep.
We're kind of on the fence. One of our locals, Brad, just bought into Imperial.
Yep.
He's pretty jazzed. And we got my buddy Connor who wants to split some clones. You saw the live stream we did with Luke talking about him, and he's like, "Yo, I'm in." And then he saw their stream, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, fire support seems really good." He's yeah. So he's like, "How many dice can I throw?"
Right.
And I'm like, "You throw this many." He's like, "Oh, yeah." It's like,
Yeah.
So it's gonna be good.
All right, so let's talk Tauntauns. I was going to try to make their noise, but I don't actually remember. No, that's true. Yeah. Okay, so, dude, these look so cool. Hold on, let me get it over on this screen so Evan can see. Oh man, I kind of can't wait for these to come out. Like, I totally want to play these. They're like furry speeder bikes.
Yeah, no, I assume a list will be Leia, 3 of those, and like 66s.
Heck yeah.
I mean, they're great. They're almost that sharpshooter 1 is real clutch, especially with 2 red apiece, like, and relentless. They're almost better than speeders. In some
So
ways.
yeah, so they got Agile 1. So after you perform a standard move, you gain a dodge. They have Relentless. So that's the same thing Vader has. So after you move, you can attack. So they're going to be able to shoot or melee. Reposition. So either before, so you would know this from your E-Web or your tank.
Yep.
Either before or after you perform a standard move, you may perform a free pivot action. So if you're not heading the right direction, you just pivot real quick before you move, and you're good. Sharpshooter 1, like Evan said, and unhindered, so they ignore difficult terrain. They have their melee is horns and hind claws, 2 black and a white with Ram 1. Ram 1 is while attacking, if you performed a full standard move at your maximum speed before this attack, you may turn 1 attack die to a crit result.
So that white die. That white die is always turned to a
so
crit, right?
good. And then for a gun, they have the DL-44 blaster pistol. That's a 1-2 range with 2 red. They have a speed 3. They surge to hit and surge on defense. 4 health, 2
courage.
2 courage, and they roll white dice. They have comms and whatever
Training.
that thing is, training. Thank you, Evan. And they, let's see, what comes in their box? So they have
not
endurance.
yeah.
Tenacity and comms jammer, which okay, so here is the thing I've been saying for a while, and I think this may prove it. Okay, I think when droids and clones come out, comms jammer is going to be big again because it's going to interrupt some of that bull crap that battle droids do and clones do. So comms jammer, for those of you that don't remember, enemy units at range 1 cannot be issued orders unless they are issuing an order to themselves. And it's 15 points, a little expensive, but the fact that they're re-releasing it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good meta call if droids really start because not necessarily droids become
Veterans
amazing.
too. I just thought about that. Veterans too with the mortar.
Yep.
This stops that.
Yes, it does. You just got to get close for it.
Yeah.
It's I thought about putting that on the speeder, flying up and then having comms generator so no one can activate to saber me or do whatever they want to do to me. I think it's such a if you know how to use it, I think it's a good card. But there's very few units that can get range 1 of other units and survive generally.
Yep.
For that to be really useful, but them they move 3. They move 3 they technically move 3, and then their base is about the size of a 1, and then they move another 3. So they're moving 3, 6, 7, 8, about 8 space of speed, more or less. You want to look at it like that because they're just how they move. So they can really. So even if you move, shoot, move, that's 2 evades. This unit, I like bikes. I don't think you can get them out. Bikes have cover 1, which is pretty handy. These guys, if they get caught on the open, yikes. So they're going to be a very finesse unit.
I think so. I think bikes were a finesse unit, though, right?
Yeah.
I think you had to figure out how to play bikes. But yeah, you're right. These are going to be interesting to play.
A useful support unit. Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I think for those of you that have never played E-Webs in an Empire, so E-Webs are very similar. They got the 4 wounds, the 2, and you just got to be careful where you place them. And, they're slower, clearly. E-Webs are slower and roll red dice. But, other than that, these sculpts are beautiful.
No, they're great. Yeah, they're real great.
I am so excited about this.
The Dewbacks coming out at the same time. Oh my God. That looks great too.
I don't know if they'll come out at the same time. I think they'll come out the month after.
Gosh, I hope they do.
They won't. I think it's going to be veterans. My guess. I don't. This is no
Hoth pack,
information.
a Hoth
pack, I think
yeah.
it's going to be veterans, tauntauns in August, and then maybe towards the end of August or September, it'll be shore troopers and dewbacks.
They've been so good about not doing that, about releasing stuff at the same time.
Yeah,
I was kind of hoping they were done with that,
or vice versa. Maybe. Oh no, because we already got the. I don't know, man. Something.
Yeah, I don't know, but
we'll figure it out, right?
I just remember the days of when snipers came out for Rebels first. The dark days of Legion back at the beginning.
So maybe it'll be. I'm trying to look.
They haven't done a spoiler for either of the Imperial ones yet, so maybe you're right. Then again, they missed the Imperial Specialist pack.
Right, they didn't even put that one out.
So
yeah, I don't think they spoiled it at all. So
yeah, you're probably right. I mean, it won't be the end of the world. So the core troopers for both sides are going to be pretty awesome. But they're not like an entirely different unit, if you know what I mean. Oh, they did like a slight spoiler, I guess.
No, this is just the preview article.
Oh, okay.
So here's my guess for those out there. It would be Veterans Tauntauns first week of August.
Yeah.
Then the next thing you're going to see is...
We gotta have a Gen Con. I guess it's a clone.
It'll be clones. But then we won't be able to get our hands on clones until September.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a September
It kills me that
release.
Nova, they never have them.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's like that's the miniature game event, right, of that month, but it always happens earlier.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited about those.
No, Tauntauns are gonna be great. Don't get me wrong. I'm real in on Tauntauns.
Yeah. So okay, let's move into We're Doing It Wrong.
We're doing it wrong.
Okay, so we are doing it wrong. Here's some stuff that came up. For moisture evaporators, okay?
Yeah.
You, on a single action with one unit, you can only wound or heal once.
Yep.
You can't wound. You can't
Yeah, I didn't really
heal.
think about it until you said it, but yeah, because you can only ever do one action once except move.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was just an interesting
I didn't know detonations were free.
thing that came up. Yeah.
I thought every time I played
Detonations.
Sabs, I thought you had to activate. So I'm like, why does everyone love Sabs so much? This kind of sucks. Because I'd set them up and people just leave. I'm like, okay, bye. Right? I guess this bomb's never going off. It's like, no, it's where
And so it's not just Sabs, it's Sabine and Bosque. They all, right? So that's all. So the play the bomb or
Is an action.
but then to detonate's free.
detonate, yeah.
Whoop, whoop. So you got that. Oh, shoot. The other thing that I had in my head.
I know boarding and unboarding vehicles.
Yeah.
What I was doing wrong was you actually get a little bit more space than you think. So you put your miniature at the base of the vehicle, then you do the one move.
Right.
What I was doing was having the one template touch the base vehicle and putting my guy out. So that's cheating myself a miniature's movement of speed.
Oh,
which
yeah.
it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're a range 2 Han Solo or a range 2 Pistol Jin, sometimes that little bit extra is what can really confirm if you're in range 2 or not. So I messed that up. What else have I? Another thing I've done wrong. Vehicle damage. When you roll a blank on a red die, it's it takes 2 actions to do one full speed maneuver and you can't reverse. I thought with compulsory, man, this looks bad when I have ever judged an event. I'm like, yeah, I guess he just gets to move now. Like he loses one action, and I don't know why I thought that. So I just get one action after I do my compulsory. So yeah, I've done a few things wrong.
Yeah, and I think okay, so here's one. So going back to Sabs. So this came up too. The bomb itself has to be within range 1.
Yeah.
So the outer rim of the circle needs to be within the 1 range marker.
Yeah.
So you can't. It's not the center of the marker. It's not. The
I thought it was like
outer
touching
edge.
the outside.
No,
Yeah.
it's got to be within the 1 range.
Yeah, I show so much. I used Sabs like twice, I think, and then I was doing it wrong. I was double actioning myself. Like, man, this is terrible. Why does everyone like these? And then I was putting them out. Granted, I was cheating in the. Now I realize I was cheating. I didn't know then.
Yeah.
Putting the bomb on the outside.
Oh yeah.
Right, like because I thought
can't do that.
because it made sense to me if I had to. I knew I was going to get bombed if I set it off. Like it still had to touch. But then again, I was also playing it so I had to take an action to detonate. So my detonations were like 2 ever. If someone like moved a unit into it, take a spot. So.
Yeah,
Whoops.
let's see. Entourage. So if you have a unit with Entourage, you can only Entourage 1 unit, even if you have 2 of the same unit.
Yeah.
But you can only ever give the Entourage token to 1. That's a good one.
Yeah. No.
Entourage range is 2.
Yep.
So that's good. Another one that comes up a lot with Death Troopers is you could put the comms relay on Death Troopers, entourage them, and then hand it off to somebody else.
Sure can. That's like the one time comms relay is like super duper good.
Yeah.
Like you see like the comms officer, like I guess that's a unit waiting to be monkeyed with, right? Like the comms unit, and then you put like a comm on there. Like what do you put on there for a core unit? Right? Like it seems like a lot of points sink, but hey, I thought that about saps over snipers, so maybe there's maybe comms janner would be a good one.
Another one I just learned too, and this is in the rules reference guide. This one pertains to terrain. So we went over this tonight. So any craters or anything like that are not considered area terrain. So if you're shooting through them, you're fine.
Yeah.
But if you have your unit within the crater, that's when you get the cover. That's when you are okay. So that was a new one that I learned recently as well.
No, it's a lot of these like weird situations that come up that I'm never. It's usually units I don't see much that I'm not super sure with. Vehicles, like I knew you took a suppression. I didn't know you take a damage when a vehicle blows up. It makes 100% sense. I just never had a vehicle blown up with anyone in it before. But no, it just we even though we talk about it a lot, we make mistakes.
Yeah, and we'll try to cover them here when we do.
We're doing it wrong.
So it'll be interesting to see LVO. I know the heat tickets went on like 8 hours ago, went on sale.
Yeah.
From when we're recording Tuesday night, so I know it's been a little while. So hopefully, when you hear this,
you'll get a chance to get in. Yeah, I wanted to go.
Get in,
The Fly Better podcast has they got the grand champion for X-Wing there.
Yep.
And then LJ got the grand champion for Legion there. So if I can go to that, I can hit 2 grand championships, lose both, and not worry about having to stay Sunday and just jet. My ultimate dream, making day 2, but not quite making it long enough to ruin the rest of my plans.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for listening, and join us next week.
Everyone, stay rad.
Join us next week for another edition of the Fifth Trooper Podcast.
This has been a Fifth Trooper production.